Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Now a while ago we made a zero clearance dado insert for the table saw. Well, today we're going to make a zero clearance insert for the regular blade. Now what I did, I have a piece of 1/2 inch MDF, and you can see what I did here. I traced out the actual table saw insert, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut that to size. I'm going to cross cut it, and then I'm going to put it on the bandsaw. We're going to trace out the shape, and then we're going to make it fit nice, and then I'm going to route out the pieces over here for the adjustment screws so that I can level it with the table and have the clearance. Then we're going to raise up the blade through it, and then we're going to make some cuts. So lately I've been cutting a lot of thin strips, and what happens is when you cut thin strips and you don't have, if you have too much room between the blade and the insert, they get sucked down in there and then they get jammed up against the blade. It just makes it more dangerous. Also, when you're doing very thin strips or even cross-cutting without a zero clearance, without that support between the blade and the workpiece, you get a lot of chip out. So today we're going to step up our game on this table saw, make a zero clearance insert. So stick around. Alright, now that we have our shape cut out on the bandsaw, most likely we're going to have to massage it just a little bit to get it to fit perfect. Okay, so some of it has to come off. I'll just rely on the spindle sander to take off the excess that I need. It's fitting pretty good in the back. Just that little spot right there. A little bit off this side here. Now you make a pencil mark here around where you need to take material away, and that will help you when you're on the spindle sander to just knock off that edge right there, and it'll drop right in. Okay, a couple of things before we start drilling on the drill press here. I put a Forstner bit in there, and what I need to do is, you can see where the adjustment screws sit on the table saw. I need to recess those so that it fits snugly in and level with the table. So what I'm going to do is put this face down. I'm going to take my insert, and what I'm going to do there is mark the thickness so that I know how far I have to set my depth stop on the drill press. So you don't want to drill all the way through. You just want to recess it so that you can sit flush. So once I get my depth, I'm going to set my stop. A little bit further. And that's exactly where I want to be. Go just a 1/16 of an inch more. Right there, level with the line. I got the router table out and I've set a rabbiting bit into the router itself, and what I want to do now is raise up the router bit because I have to cut a rabbet all around so that it fits on the little recessed lip inside the table saw. Some table saws have that, some don't. This particular one has it, so I have to route it. Even though I cut out these pieces for the adjustment screws, the rest of it has to be rabbeted out so that it can sit flush with the table. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to raise up the router bit just until it gets to the top of my reference line. And that's it right there. Lock it in place. Now I'll set my fence, not to cut off too much material. Now when you have your regular 10-inch table saw blade in the table saw, you're not going to be able to sit the insert flush because the blade doesn't recess down enough into the table. That's all the way down right now. What some people do is they take it off and they put the dado blade on there, which is an 8-inch blade. You can do that, but to save time, what I've done is mark off from where the riving knife comes up just by tracing out the measurements from the original insert, made a line where the blade's going to sit. What I'm going to do now is just take my chisel and notch out a little bit of the bottom of the insert here, just enough where I'm going to get the recess where I'm able to put it on there and raise up the blade through to make my cut, to have my zero clearance. Now I ran a line with the bandsaw where I marked off the riving knife's going to be. I'm just going to chisel the rest of that out. Down just a little bit, get the fence over the top. I'm going to lock it down and I'm going to use that to hold it down in place. That's going to be my clamping device. Now I'm going to slowly raise the blade through and make my cut. Okay guys, so here it is. I put the riving knife back. Got a nice flush fit, tight in there. I could put the washer and a screw on the back to act as a hook to hold it in place, but now that the kerf is cut, raise the blade. Got space for the riving knife also. And there's your zero clearance. Just like we did with the dado insert. So I'm going to leave this one on the table saw permanently. Basically, every cut you make with a zero clearance, you're going to get less chip out because it has support on both sides of the blade. So that's it, guys. All right, hope you enjoyed the shop project, and I'll see you next time.